Hey, stronger humans. I got my 6-month DEXA scan, my second DEXA scan ever this morning. And although the results were a little underwhelming, I didn't gain any bone density. I also didn't really lose any bone density. And there were tiny gains in some other areas, as well as some of my muscle mass symmetry actually was becoming more symmetrical in my muscle mass symmetry. So some of those things are kind of interesting. There are definitely some small gains and takeaways from it. I maintained my bone density. I lost a little bit of total body mass, a little bit of BMI, a little bit of, I think they pronounce it gynoid fat. And I'm becoming more symmetrical in my muscle mass from side to side, which is all cool. I also had a general wellness check yesterday, and all my labs came back from that in really great ranges. Everything's green, everything is good. Good low resting heart rate of like 50. They were impressed by that. And for being getting close to 36 now and kind of short and female, like all this stuff's super important, for everyone, but especially when you hit your 30s as a woman, to try to maintain that skeletal muscle mass and your muscle bone density. So I'm going to try to tackle things a little bit differently moving forward. I kind of fell off my protein game for a little bit the last couple of months since baby Hallie, our newborn, has been born. So I want to get back on my protein and making sure I'm at least tracking getting enough protein a day and get back on that bandwagon. And then at the beginning of this challenge, I was being more diligent about jumping, and though I still jump every week, I want to get into jumping more consistently every day. So I really need to get the handles for my cross ropes so I can actually get into jump roping, but getting more onto my box jumping and everything like I was doing there towards the beginning. I don't have my gym membership anymore, so it's harder for me to lift super heavy like I was in the beginning. I haven't had that for the last 3 months. So finding a way to get the heavy weights in there for the real heavyweight training again, I'm going to have to figure that out. And I'm going to up my vitamin D a little bit more. I think right now I sit between the 6,000 to 8,000 IUs, so I want to try to get that up to 10,000. I think Seema's mentioned taking 10,000 or maybe even more. But I think I need to get there too, especially as the fall and winter months are coming, and there might be less gorgeous days like this where I can spend a ton of time outside. I think it's going to be even more imperative for me to make sure I'm staying on my vitamin D game and upping my vitamin Ds. But I'm not going to let all this get me down. I'm going to take it as a positive. I was a little mopey this morning, but I'm spending the day reflecting and thinking of how I'm going to add to my regimen, how I might change up my regimen, what I can improve on. So the vitamin D, consistent daily jumping, trying to figure out how to get the heavy weights back in my life, getting back on that consistent protein bandwagon, again, especially as a female. Notoriously, women do not take in enough protein. So imperative, so important. So gotta get back on that. Just eating better as a whole. It's hard when you get poor sleep. With the newborn, we've been getting poor sleep. So we get that ghrelin, we're eating, just trying to find energy through food, and it makes you have more poor food choices. So gotta try to quit using all that as an excuse and get back on those whole foods, that home cooking. I'm gonna try to share more of our good whole foods home cooking, from scratch cooking, in my group post on what's your nutrition for today, just to hold myself more accountable. And yeah, I'm just taking a really beautiful sunshiny walk with the tank top and no weights, just being a little bit reflective, doing my walk and ramble, getting some outdoor movement in, and thinking of how to move forward. So maybe maintaining my skeletal muscle mass is all I'll ever do, but I will still take DEXA scans to make sure that I'm staying on that trajectory of maintaining that. I'm in like the 95th percentile from a healthy and strong database of people. So they're really impressed by that and asked what I did. I did mention this community, so maybe we'll get some new followers, and that would be awesome. But just maybe maintenance is the thing, you know. So we're gonna keep at it. We're gonna keep being strong, right? Stronger humans. So let's go.